Imagine this. There once lived a king, a brave and heroic king who gave his all to protect his people. However, his nation is brought to the brink of collapse due to a pillager who seeks nothing but the king's downfall. After intricate planning and an intense battle with the pillager, the king wins, restoring peace to his land, and he lives happily ever after. The end. This is an example of a typical hero versus villain trope that is often used in novels, movies, plays, and other forms of entertainment to bring forth the idea of how good always triumphs over evil, allowing for the audience to experience a feel-good sensation as the hero wins. I was an enthusiast of entertainment based on this trope until I was introduced to the villain Thanos from Avengers Infinity War. Thanos' evil actions had logical, mathematical, and moral reasoning, which is what prompted me to understand the core motivations behind a villain's evil actions, especially through a psychological context, to solve the question of what goes into the creation of a villain.
You should have gone for the head.
Before coming up with an answer to that, it is necessary to set a baseline on what should be considered evil and what shouldn't. Evil is what causes harm. However, according to John Keeks, there is a difference between non-moral and moral evil. Non-moral evil is classified as harm being done to humans by non-human factors such as natural disasters, sickness, poverty, etc. On the other hand, moral evil is harm done to humans by other humans with the intent to cause harm. This form of evil, which is often seen in villains such as Iago from William Shakespeare's play Othello and Willy Loman from Arthur Miller's play Death of a Salesman, is what we will focus on in this journey to answer the question. As an objective definition of evil is established, the question of what drives the evil actions behind each villain remains. According to psychology, behaviors, including evil ones, are formed multiple ways, such as genetics, environmental factors, such as social interactions, experiences, etc., and social norms. For a more concrete explanation, the root of evil could be broken down into 4 different categories: internal, external, passive, and active. Internal and external roots could easily be differentiated, as they lie within a difference in whether the evil locates its cause within the evildoers or in conditions outside of them. Passive roots are causes that evildoers do not have control over, which leads them to commit an action of evil. An example of a passive root is war, an external cause that forces a soldier to resort to the necessary evil of fighting, injuring, or even killing his opponent to protect his country. Active roots are causes that the evildoer does have control over, such as jealousy, anger, regret, plotting, etc. These distinctions highlight how the explanation of evil actions behind fictional villains depends on the author's choice of deciding whether the root acts as an outside influence or if it stems from the psychological processes of a character, and whether a character has a choice between staying constant or resorting to evil. Iago is a character whose evil actions are driven by an internal active root, since his perception of his lower status in comparison to Othello leads him to choose to plot on Othello's demise. On the opposite side, Willy Loman's evil actions are driven by an external passive root, since he is put in a situation where the outside world does not respect nor support Willy's pursuit of becoming a successful salesman, which causes intense mental degradation, forcing him to project his struggles to his son through evil actions.
And don't you dare blame it on me. Dad, I'm not
When focusing on Iago and Willy as villains, 2 different theories of human behavior are highlighted: situationism and interactionism. Situationism refers to the idea of how the behavior of people is influenced by situational factors more than personal traits. Many social psychologists base their practices on this theory as they emphasize how immediate situations have great influence on thoughts, feelings, and behavior while minimizing the importance given to individual dispositions. Situationism is seen to be prominent within Willy's character since he is easily influenced by his surroundings, leading him to be overwhelmed into evil doing. This same concept is proven through the infamous obedience test conducted by Philip Zimbardo, the Stanford prison experiment. The prison experiment is a study that consisted of 24 college male students who were divided into the roles of prisoners and guards. To test the influence of environmental stimulation on human behavior, the 24 college students were instructed to not leave a simulated realistic prison setting, in addition to wearing uniforms and strict rules that caused the students to internalize their roles. By the end of the experiment, the power of the environment was revealed as the students lost their ethical boundaries due to their adherence to their roles, which guided their behaviors towards violence and abuse. This study acted as a cornerstone in contributing to the credibility of situationism. This theory of situationism is often seen with character tropes that are not outwardly expressed as villains, which adds to the exploration on how villainy is not always a result of corrupt personality, but rather the expression of struggle that a normal person faces when put in a situation that degrades their morality. The exploration of characters through a situationist lens acts as a testament to the power that constrictive external factors hold in degrading a character's moral compass, as well as altering their behavior. Iago, on the other hand, represents a different facet of human behavior through interactionism, which is the idea that both situations and personality traits, but primarily personality traits, influence behavior. Shakespeare characterizes Iago as an intrinsically evil character, which carries on the idea of internal roots, such as personality traits, that leads a character into evil doing. Alexander Haslam, in a social psychology research paper, Beyond the Banality of Evil, 3 Dynamics of Interactionist Social Psychology of Tyranny, can provide evidence on the credibility of the interactionist theory through his analysis of Adolf Eichmann, a German Nazi official who played a major role in organizing the Holocaust. Through analysis, it was discovered that Eichmann was surprisingly found to be a normal civil servant who followed his instincts rather than being a psychopath. This banal nature of human beings to blindly follow personal instincts is used to explore how evil actions could often be the result of personality traits such as ignorance in pursuit of self-pleasure, a trait that is prominent in Iago. This theory could shed light on the common confusion of thinking villains exist just for the sake of the hero, when the true existence of a villainous nature in characters is due to the fundamental nature of humans to follow instincts. However, one thing that remains common among all villains is a failure to attain one's dream. Think of characters such as Iago, who wanted to be in a position of power, Willy, who wanted to succeed at being a salesman, Thanos, who wanted to bring balance to the universe, the Joker, who wanted to be recognized by the society that rejected him, etc. They are all characters with failed dreams. This leads to an answer to the original question of what goes into the creation of a villain. The answer being that the creation of a villain lies within how a character perceives the failure of achieving their dreams in correspondence to the choice of whether to commit evil actions or to stay stagnant. Unfulfilled aspirations become catalysts for moral degradation, shaping the development of a villainous mindset that is driven by internal and/or external factors, allowing for either the realization of the character's motivations or their tragic self-demise. It is essential to recognize that the journey towards villainy is not a singular path, but a complex combination of motivations and circumstances. Internal factors such as innate personality traits, external factors such as unresolved conflicts, and the innate human capacity for darkness all play a role in contributing to the shape of a character's moral compass. Through the creation of villainous characters, however, authors, playwrights, and directors all partake in serving commentary on reflecting society's fears, anxieties, and moral dilemmas. In doing so, storytellers encourage us not to only question the nature of evil, but also to understand the fragile nature of our morality in the face of adversity and unmet aspirations.